Hi guys, welcome once again to another edition of Mouth of Mark Online. Improve your English skills and learn English conversations online with Kumar. Hello and welcome again to another edition of Mouth of Mark Online, your English conversation and life skills, tips and tricks. For today's episode, we are going to talk about words and phrases which, for me, we should be careful in using. Now, this is personal opinion. If you have any suggestions or comments on the points that I'll be making today, then you are free to comment down below. Let's begin. There are words and phrases that we use so often that sometimes, or usually, we do not anymore scrutinize its appropriate usage and the meaning that we convey each time that we use them, or in our conversation, in our sentences, or even in writing. I hope that these ideas that I will be giving today would give you or help you somehow to think first and make sure that you speak and express the best version of that which you want to say. Okay? So you want to say this, but actually there is the best version of that idea that you want to express. So I hope that you will have that idea and think about the words before it comes out of your mouth. Okay? Let us start. Which of these statements is better? You look gorgeous today, or you are gorgeous in that dress. Okay, I agree. It's the second. Sometimes, somehow, when you say you look gorgeous today, some people would say only today. How about yesterday, or how about the other day? You see, it gets misunderstood. So to avoid that, you'd rather say you look gorgeous on that dress. You are so beautiful. That's it, plain and simple. You don't add the word today. Alright? Let's go to the 5 phrases that I'll be using today, which I believe personally sometimes we misuse. That is unbelievable. Now, on a personal note, I hope that you avoid this word unbelievable, because according to Matthew McConaughey, there is no such thing as unbelievable. When you describe something as unbelievable, it is a contradiction in itself, because you are able to describe it, meaning it happened. So believe it because it happened. It can be amazing, spectacular, fantastic, but not unbelievable, because you have to believe it because it happened. Negatively though, it can be gruesome, brutal, heartless, but not unbelievable. So what am I trying to say? You don't underestimate the goodness and the greatness that you can achieve, but you don't also underestimate, on the other hand, the capacity of evil to do what's worst. Okay? So believe it. It will happen. So, rather saying, ooh, unbelievable, you say, that is great, that is spectacular, that is fantastic. But you don't really say that's unbelievable or unbelievable, because it happened. So, meaning you have to believe it. Okay? Number 2. I'm fine, thank you, and you. Okay? We have been using this since, and we got used to it that we are totally comfortable with it. Well, I'm not saying it's wrong. It's correct. You can actually say I'm fine, thank you, and you. It is correct. That's the point. But all I want to say is that you have to change somehow the way you reply to this kind of question, like how are you and how are you doing. Okay? And it's much better if you really describe how you really feel. Like, I'm sick, I'm tired, I'm sleepy. It's always better to be honest about how you feel with this kind of question. How are you? So instead of saying, I'm fine, thank you, and you, because I'm fine sometimes has a negative meaning. You say I'm fine when yesterday you're not okay. Yesterday you were sick, or you were heartbroken yesterday, and today I'll ask you, are you okay? You say, I'm fine. That's the real meaning of the word I'm fine. So for example, if an American or somebody native speaker would ask you, how are you? And you say, I'm fine. They would ask you, what happened? Because it has a negative connotation. It has a negative meaning to it. So instead of saying, I'm fine, thank you, and you just say, I am great. Thank you for asking. I am good. Thank you for asking. Okay? Third one. He happens to be American. He happens to be American. Happens to be can only be used when you talk about something that happens as a result of an accident or accident. Job, citizenship, personality, your face, your color, your complexion is not an accident. So you cannot say, I have a friend who happens to be black. No. His parents were black, so he's black. Or African American. He's white, he's brown. No. It's not happens to be. Okay? Simply describe it as it is, because your color, your nationality, your personality, your job, you cannot say to another person like, I have a friend who happens to be a doctor. No. He or she chose to be a doctor. She studied medicine. So I have a friend who is a doctor. Happens to be. Avoid using this word. Again, this is on a personal note. So you say he's an American. He's American. The next one. I'd be more than happy to be there. I'd be more than happy to be there. You cannot, in reality, do this. How can you be more than happy? Is there something greater than happiness? This is an expression or an exaggeration to express the intensity, of course, I know, the intensity of what you feel inside. However, I think it would be better to use adverbs like very, extremely, or really, or absolutely, than saying more than. Like, I will be extremely happy to be there. I would be absolutely happy to be there. Instead of saying, I would be more than happy. Is there such thing as more than happiness? I think George Carlin said, more than happiness is craziness. If you are more than happy, then you might be, something might be happening on your brain, or something's happening with you. Okay, so I hope that someday, on a personal note, I don't want to use this phrase. And I hope that you can do it too, if it applies to you. So you say, I'd be elated to be there, or I'd be glad, I'd be very glad to be there. So not more than happy. Okay? Are you sleeping right now? Now this is a very common mistake that Asians made. Like, if you're calling somebody and then they answer, especially on at night or way past sleeping time or bedtime, and when you call somebody and they answer the phone and say, hey, are you sleeping? How can that guy be sleeping if he answered you or if he answered your call, right? So it's not, are you sleeping right now, but you have to say, did I wake you up? Because he answered your call. So he is not sleeping already at the moment. He is awake. So you say, did I wake you up? Okay? So, always remember, it's not because we get used to it, it's okay. It's not because it sounds right, then it is right and appropriate. Again, I'm not talking about the structure and the grammar. I'm speaking about its practical application. because the goal of language is not to sound right. It is to be understood and to understand. I hope you learned something today and see you again on our next video. Bye.